I thought it was a really propulsive, exciting script. And I loved the character. I loved the journey that she goes on and the past that she has that kind of informs this job that she's about to do. And it just really interested me playing a character that, was very different from anything that I'd played before. And the team that were, putting it together. It was a really, it read on the page like the movie does, as you see it. It's like a 90-minute intense action film. And I hadn't read anything like that before. It was so great. Yeah, I actually had a marshal who was sort of on standby and there for me to ask questions, and I did a little bit of training with him. And I did some combat training for the fight scenes, which was, a great experience. And Mark has a regular, stunt team that he works with. So there was about a week of just kind of the build up before we started shooting. But this was a very short shoot. It was like 3 to 4 weeks. So we had quite, very little time for preparation, but there was great resources around me before doing it. Well, it was quite an unusual job to do because it was only three actors on set at one time. So and filming in this really confined plane was quite a challenge, and very funny at times because we could never kind of stand upright. Um, and so the plane was completely intact, so they never kind of took out any walls or any of the roof. So the camera team really were in there with us the whole time. So it's a very intimate setting, for you to all kind of be in this tight space together. And though it was a very intense subject and intense kind of moments that you see in the film, there was some great levity in between. And he's such a funny good guy, and we ended up sort of having a real laugh in between. And I think it shows actually in the film. It kind of comes across that we sort of have this sort of almost like a sibling sort of closeness towards the end of the film. And Mark is such a pro, and it was a real pleasure to work with him. I've been an admirer of his work for such a long time, and actually to see him in person do such a different role from, stuff that he's done in recent years was a real joy to see him bringing that character to life, and quite terrifying as you can see. Yeah, I think you have to see this on a big screen, for all of the visual effects and, the scenery alone as we're up in that plane. And the, the fact that this film is, 90 minutes and kind of was built out in that time. So from the start of the movie to the end, that is the duration of the flight, is a real experience to watch in a cinema because, at some point they have to land that plane. And I think to see Mark playing a character like this is a real treat for people because it's so different from what he's done recently. And it is absolutely something you should see in a cinema. It's a lot of fun. And I think see it on a bigger screen possible.